on your article, real important video. So, Washington, this pisses me off so fucking bad. Here, all my work for fucking 10 years, or going on 10 years. They're going to come out 10 years after the fact and say exactly what, on a well-funded government fucking multi-million-dollar study, Cornell. And they're going to repeat verbatim, word for word, what Kevin Blanch said 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago. Not to mention all the incredible field work that I've done. And they just got to plagiarize. They're still saying, and they go back to the so-called wasting disease of 2013, which is 2012. It's Fukushima. And then they're saying, you know, with the biologists at the Monterey Aquarium finally admitted that it is a virus with the young one, which... So, she's saying 100% collapse, which is not true. My work proves that it's 99% collapse. I talked to the Monterey Aquarium recently. You know, Steve resigned. You know, they used to laugh at me. And that video that I shot this summer at Level 20 says that's the most starfish anybody has found post wasting. And I says, yeah, they're not all gone. You have to work hard. And I do. I get it. The historic low tides and the best light tools. And so here they get this study and they come out and they're still saying they're baffled. We don't know. They're finally, one biologist is saying that finally wasting disease is a virus. COVID from the sea. So my incredible work, and then I want to talk about here. So I've been at this university since 1960. I've been going to school here since 1975. When I was 15, I started here in a BIS honors program. But anyway, it's complicated. So I'm walking through here one time, you know, and I run into one of my old professors, and a really sophisticated, brilliant, great old professor. He says, Kevin, come here. He says, I got to tell you, I absolutely love your work. I'm so proud of your work. And he runs a major foundation all over the world in Europe for human rights and charitable organization. He's the founder of it. And he was there recruiting students, blah, 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 blah. He said, Kevin, I need to talk to you. This incredible work of yours, he says, how are you possibly funding this? And I says, blind faith. I says, I just have a GoFundMe page and I have, you know, a few people. He says, that's not going to cut it. He says, you've got to have some funding. Oh, I'm blind faith. I was on the verge of losing my house at that time. You know, I got a forbearance. I almost lost it. And so I says, no, I'm good. He says, come on, Kevin, I know I know what happened to you. I know your whole finance call. I mean, come on, I know you. I've known you for all these, yeah. It's a miracle you're alive. I says, yeah. He says, your work is incredible. He says, it's historic. It's unbelievable. I've been following along. He says, and he did make a donation to me a long time ago. He gave me $1,000. Long time. I mean, one of the true great old fucking gem professors here, which used to be so full of them. Not now. So he's like, it's a Weber State tradition. So he's Kevin. Listen to me. This is important. I've been at this and he's old, for a long time. He says, what charitable organizations, and he says, no one knows like I know, has turned into, and it's been this way for a long time, is about making you, finding a comfort zone for your investors. I says, I don't want to be that. I want to be the opposite of that. I says, that's what Greenpeace is and Sierra Club. That's why they're ineffective and they don't do anything. And he says, people will get into this feel-good club and they'll donate. He says, they have to feel warm and fuzzy. You have got to start to make some group of people feel comfortable. I says, no, I'm uncomfortable. I'm surviving cancer. And he's like, Kevin, he says, I'm telling you, you're not going to get any funding this way. You have to create. And I says, well, I call those dogma snuggies. And he laughed. He says, I says, if Greenpeace hasn't proved that, if Helen Caldecott hasn't proved that, if all these people haven't proved that, and then I had a conversation. I says, look, I want to be the activist that wins. I want to be the activist. And he says, you are. He says, what you did on Blue Castle, what you've done at Senate Offering, he says, but, I says, He says, you've got to start to make people feel comfortable. I says, no. I'm making people feel uncomfortable because this is in a very uncomfortable situation. So the fact of the matter that the starfish, they come out now. I tell you exactly what Kevin Blanch, and they're saying 100% mortality in that. By the way, not true. I've never used extinction, which I'm getting there. I've used the term genocide. If they genocide the natives on this continent, you know, at least 50 million of them. Yeah, there's still some? Yeah. If I didn't have, but I did not, ELE, if I did not believe this was genocide and Mother Earth at some point can, you know, we can try to fix this, I wouldn't do this, would I? I'd be dead. I told him that. You know, when a doctor looks you right in the eye and says you have AML, denua, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and there's no really surviving it. I'm so crazy that I said, fuck you. I'm going to survive it. He says, well, I don't know how we argue with that, Kev. What's up, Joe?
What's going on, man?
God, look, talk about a donation.
I thought you were taking donations, man.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah. He's the janitor. We grew up together. Your brother passed away of this evil disease.
Yeah.
He was great. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, only the good die young. God, you got a haircut, clean cut. You must got a new girlfriend.
It's in the works, man.
Thanks, man. So we went to high school together, and he's the janitor here. The lowest paid guy on the campus, the hardest worker. He's a janitor. Takes the bus. That's the way it is, right? On cue. So it's outrageous. It is really outrageous that they want to quote my work. And where's their field work? Where's their field work? I want to see any of their fucking field work. I have all that fucking video content in the with a Feldorf valve jumping through those tide pools at the lowest fucking tides ever, at the best tide pools in fucking all of California. There they are. My work is so paramount there. So the Great Pacific Genocide, and I just had this conversation with a guy in San Diego. He says, well, what's the trip, Kevin? And I says, look, I don't care, I'm fine. Listen, I don't have enough money. I fucking got an old beat up piece of shit car that barely goes. I get by, you know, I hitchhike, get a ride sometimes to the airport, or I take the train, you know, work up and down, whatever. I'm cool, I'm good. And he says, really? Yeah. I mean, so it's just the way it is. I'm okay with it. And thank you to everybody who has supported the story fucking work. You know, you're just as important as I am on this work. And one day, it'll all come out in the wash. And if I thought this was the end, would I do this? Would I do this? If I thought this was fucking hopeless, would I do this? These fuckers, it's Fukushima. It's all Fukushima. Our work proves it. So, you read the study. Here you go again. As I said, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now, they'll quote exactly word for word what Kevin Blanch told you as it was happening, including the dead. I mean, I'm doing it boots on the ground right as it happened. The frogs have been boiled nicely. And by the way, my view count, my rhetoric has not changed one iota. I go from 100,000 views to 100. What's changed? Stay tuned.